Well, it has been a cloudy, cool, and wet Thursday across central Oregon. On top of that, winds have been breezy at times. So, yeah, we're still in this unsettled weather pattern. And this same setup continues for a couple more days with a break between system that'll be well earned during the weekend. Hey, everyone, I'm Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center, and we're about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast look at what's been happening, what's going to change, and how those changes impact our forecasts through this rest of this week, this weekend, and well into next week. So buckle up. Let's do our deep dive for this Thursday, January the 29th. Now, currently, we have a whole lot of cloud cover across central Oregon, and it's been like this through most of the day. We have had some periods of a little bit of clearing, or really the clouds thinning out a little bit, parting way for some. Call them some slight sunbreaks, but for the most part, it's still a little on the wet side. When we go ahead and focus on what's been happening across central Oregon, we do still see that there's one spot, Klein Buttes, that has a little bit of some of the light clearing where we just have some thin clouds, but also we're tracking a few smoke plumes. Currently, we're not too worried about anything in the way of air quality conditions, but we could be looking at some stagnation through the next couple of days, leading to some periods of reduced, maybe even poor air quality. Now, even with the precipitation that's been rolling through, look at this. We have not seen much change with these numbers through the last week and a half. Now, some changes are on the way. This next weather pattern is going to bring a little bit more melting, but when it comes to new snow, you have to look at some of the long-range forecast models at the end of the next 2 weeks. So, like, not this Monday, Tuesday, but next Monday, Tuesday, we could be looking at something in the way of putting some snow on the ground. But those long-range forecast models are, they haven't been keeping up with what's actually been happening. So the way down the road isn't verifying when we get closer. Now, when we look at Friday's powder prognosis, we notice that tomorrow temperatures are actually warming up a little bit more. We're starting off in the 20s and 30s, topping out in the 40s. More showers are expected, but notice at Hoodoo and even at Basher, it's mostly going to be liquid precipitation. So that means rain, not mix, not snow, not a little bit of both, but most of it is just going to be rain showers. So right here and right now, that's exactly what we're seeing across the high desert. Wet roads through central Oregon, and even at elevation, our passes are mostly just wet with a little bit of compaction, a little bit of melting off to the side of the roads. And temperatures have been running near and a little above average for this time of the year, but between now and next week, we actually just have roller coaster temperatures, and currently there are some showers working their way down the east slopes of the Cascades right up to the 97 corridor. But let's pause, let's back up, let's look at those air quality conditions, because we did see some of the pile burns showing up on the map. And at the moment, when it comes to the air quality, the DEQ, Oregon Department of Emergency or Environmental Quality, the hourly average is just green. It's good until you get much further to the north. That's where it is moderate or yellow. And when it comes to the eSpace sensors, remember eSpace is a lab here in Central Oregon, and they just have all of these air quality monitoring stations across parts of the high desert and other parts of Oregon. It's good to moderate. And even when we look at a third monitoring network, that is Purple Air, we do have access to some of their data. It is intermittent when it actually comes in, but as of right now, we've been seeing it's a little more sensitive, but we haven't seen too much change, and we actually aren't seeing anything showing up, so we're waiting on an update from that. Sorry, I thought it'd be there, but it just looks like I'm having trouble with some of the data. Now, when it comes to our satellite and radar loop, satellite shows cloud cover, a lot of clouds. A few spots where you see the darker images, that's where we actually have some little bit of clearing. Now, radar shows rain, and that rain is coming right up to the 97 corridor. And really, in the last couple of hours in Ben proper, we have been getting some of these showers rolling through. And so we are not done. This is the latest of several cold fronts that's going to be impacting us. And when we look further out over the Pacific Ocean, this system is fizzling out just like the one before and the couple before that. And that cold front is still well offshore. And so actually, this is a little bit of the warm sector action. So the warm front is already passed, the cold front is on the way. That cold front pushes tomorrow. So I did misspeak a couple minutes ago, or about a minute ago, when I said this is part of the cold front. It is part of the same system, but this is the tail end of that warm front. That warm front has been responsible for bumping up our temperatures today, and we've actually warmed up a little bit. Meanwhile, satellite and radar actually helps paint a picture of where the cold front and where the warm front is. You got to look at the thicker bands of cloud cover. So the warm front is stretched down into right over Boise. So that means the warm front is already passed. We're catching some showers on the back side of the warm front. The cold front is further out over the Pacific Ocean. Now we use these lines to help draw the lines on the map. Now other lines that you see, those white ones, those are isobars, lines of equal pressure, and when they're tightly stacked up over Central Oregon, that means we do have winds that are breezy, a little bit more breezy through the Cascade gaps and the passes. Now there is a low pressure over the Gulf of Alaska, another one associated with our system that's impacting us now, and another system further out over the Pacific. That one is going to be our next one. So as we go forward through the next couple of days, we're still in this active weather pattern, and that next one doesn't really impact us until Sunday. So right here, right now, when it comes to water vapor imagery, we do have some of those isobars that are stacking up, so breezy at times, we'll call it. And we do have some moisture over the region, and that's what's been pushing through. So our futurecast, our forecast model shows that through the overnight hours, some sprinkles, some light showers continuing. By Friday, we are expecting some periods of clearing across the high desert, and also some showers, mostly in the afternoon getting into the evening. Then by Saturday, starting off with some clouds, getting a whole lot of sunshine. And that sunshine is because of a ridge of high pressure. That ridge of high pressure brings us our next warming trend, and that means we're further into the 50s. So right now, relative humidity is moderate to high. Not showing any signs of that risk of any fog developing, and even if it does, it's not going to be freezing fog because overnight lows are still going to be too high. In the last 24 hours, temperatures have topped out in the 40s and 50s. Right now, we're solidly in the 40s across Central Oregon. Until you get higher in elevation, that's where we have some 30s on the map. So that means our temperature change in the last 24 hours, we're running between 1 to 2 degrees cooler and 7 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. Tonight, we're back into the 30s. Tomorrow, we warm through the 30s, then reach through the 40s and into the 50s. Highs are going to be mostly in the 50s, and then we start to cool back down again. And remember, we're still looking at some showers across the high desert. So when we go ahead and look at a different forecast model, this one is more focused on surface temperatures, and it shows the blue is where it gets colder, the red is where it gets warmer, obviously. And we're looking at roller coaster temperatures through the next several days. So Friday, we're talking a chilly start. Again, still 30s. Scattered showers are expected through the day. Winds get breezy at times, highs in the 50s with some 40s. Then that cold front fizzles out. And so we don't really see that warmer and moist air get pushed out of the area. It stays over us. By Saturday, under high pressure, we have even more sunshine. That helps with warming. Highs well into the 50s. By Sunday, our next cold front rolls in. 50s with some 40s. So notice the roller coaster temperatures going up and coming back down. And then another warm up is expected later next week. So between now and Sunday at 11 p.m., look at that. Some showers are expected, just not a lot. And with our roller coaster temperatures, Sunday and Monday could bring a little bit of wintry mix. So, different forecast model. This one's similar to the one that I just showed, but it's not as high of resolution. And so it just shows another view of what could happen. And through tonight, we're looking at some clearing. By tomorrow, a few sprinkles. Yeah, a couple light showers expected. By Saturday, that's the break between systems. And by Sunday, wetter, cooling, and then maybe some mix by early Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, still some showers possible, but not a lot. And really, our future precipitation graphic looks pretty bleak, even going out even further with one that's less of a resolution, and it just goes out further in time. It's showing more showers. These ones pushing through Sunday, but not much in the way of snow, not even in the highest elevation. So winds have been gusty. Let me back up. Currently, right now, some of those gusts are actually above 20 miles per hour, especially where you see the green on the map there. And most of it's coming out of the west, so almost zonal flow across Central Oregon. Now, going forward, through the next couple of days, we are looking at winds still getting breezy at times, and that happens during each day as another front pushes through. By Saturday, getting up to 10 to 20 miles per hour, almost there, almost calling it a breezy day. So for tonight, we're talking 30s with some 20s, periods of clearing. By tomorrow, 50s, a few 40s on the map, and more showers. And then your 7-day planner shows with those roller coaster temperatures just continue. But by early next week, after that last system rolls out of here, more sunshine, more 50s, a light breeze expected. So here's a look at your weather headlines for this Thursday, January 29th. Fizzling cold front Friday. Showers are expected, winds get breezy at times. By Saturday, milder and brighter, and as of right now, there are some showers impacting Central Oregon. Well, that's the latest in weather. Tune in tonight to Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into your most reliable forecast.